Just get Instagram pulled in here too. You gotta have all these different devices. That is so crazy. But I'm working it out. Greetings, Val. Greetings. Let me see. Let me get this live going here. Just gonna wait for a couple more people to come in also. Get started in a couple of minutes. Started right at 9 o'clock. So I just want to make sure that I give other people enough time to make it in also. Hey, Instagram, we got you locked and loaded. Let me get you stable up here. So I need to come up with a better system of how to handle my phones, because by me doing, hey Jen, hey Rach, by me doing live with YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, I have to have 3 different systems going at the same time. And sorry, Facebook. And me having 3 different systems going at the same time means I have to have 3 different items. So I have YouTube on my laptop, I have my regular phone has Facebook on it, and then my backup phone for business has Instagram on it. So this is how I have to do this. So I have to come up with a better way to organize how this gets done. Because like Instagram is seeing mostly the right side of me. I think Facebook and YouTube are okay, but it's just crazy. But anyway, hey everybody, it's Friday night, a little bit after 9. I told you guys to grab your water or your juice or your wine, or if you want something a little bit stronger, grab that too, and let's sit and have a little conversation about forgiveness. Hey Classic Man, thank you for joining me on Instagram. And hey Miss Wanda over on Facebook. I want to talk about the benefits of forgiveness and why it's a benefit, especially for women and womb health. Okay, I did write some notes down so that I will not get myself off track, because it's very easy to get off track. Very easy to get off track when you are speaking, especially once the comments start rolling in. I'm going to try to keep this 30 minutes or less. It's only worked once so far doing my broadcast, but hey, it is what it is. Alright, so let's just look at this. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is consciously deciding to let go of resentment. That's making a conscious effort to let go of resentment. That's not easy. When someone has done something that we feel is wrong to us, it's not easy to let go of it. It's not easy to say, okay, well, whatever, and just let it go, especially if it's something physically against our bodies, or if it has to do with our money, or if it has to do with our spirituality. Those 3 things are very hard to get over. Or your children. When I say physical, that includes your children too. Those 3 things are very, very hard to get over. I'm learning. I'm learning how to forgive. And it's not forgiving for that person's sake. I'm being very selfish when I say I'm learning how to forgive. It's not forgiving for that person's sake. It has nothing to do with that person. It has everything to do with me and with how I feel about a situation. Let me give you an example. If you're driving down the street and someone cuts you off, you got to slam on your brakes just about, or almost slam on your brake to avoid hitting them, because they've literally jumped right in front of you. Hey Roz! They've literally jumped right in front of you. Then your first instinct, after you make sure that you're okay, your first instinct is to maybe drive around the car, roll down your window, cuss them out, especially if they flip you the bird in the rearview mirror. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You cut me off, and then you got the nerve to want to flip me the bird, you got the nerve to want to mouth the word bitch or something like that, and you just cut me off in traffic? Hold up. We ain't about to go that way. We about to, no, you gonna hear my mouth. Alright, so now I done went around this car and I done pulled up to this car and I'm cussing and fussing and the whole nine and they doing whatever back and you doing it too. What did you just solve? What did you just fix? What was the benefit of any of that? Nothing. There was no benefit to it whatsoever. Yeah, you might have felt a little better. Maybe. But not really. Because now your adrenaline is flowing and you're all jacked up about the whole thing. Now you're really holding on to the fact that not only did they cut me off, but then they threw me the bird. And then after they flipped me the bird, they wanted to keep talking stuff back. And now you really riled up and you really upset. And it does nothing to help the situation whatsoever. So again, what was the point in that? Let's take it another step. Let's say, you go, I should have had some situations together, some allegories together. Let's say you go to the store and you're shopping. Rachel, you're so funny. There is something to the forgiveness thing. I'm learning. See, you missed me say, I'm learning how to forgive, though. I didn't say I was completely there. I'm learning, though, and my other phone is about to die. Hold on, guys. Let me get Instagram straight here. I don't know if I can turn it to the side. I don't think I can, but I'm about to anyway. Instagram, I'm sorry if that makes me sideways for you guys. Just imagine me straight, okay? Just imagine me straight. Yeah, let's see if that works. But it's either charge you or lose you. So, hey, I had to turn you to the side to charge you. But, okay. So, imagine, let's see, what can we say? Imagine your boyfriend or your girlfriend has done something. Infidelity. Let's go to infidelity. They've decided to step out on a relationship. That's not an agreed upon thing. I have to put that caveat in there because a lot of people are now agreeing to more open relationships where you can step out, but we'll talk about that another time. They've stepped outside of the relationship and he's had a baby. Or she stepped outside the relationship and she got pregnant and come to find out it's not your baby. You're mad, you're upset, you're angry, but you stay with the person. So you stay with the person to do what? You stay with the person to hold it over their head? Do you stay with the person to get revenge? Do you stay with the person because you really want to work it out? Hopefully it's because you really want to work it out. But how can you work it out if you don't let it go? If you don't forgive what's happened? How can you work it out with the person? So what's the point of staying with the person if all you're going to do is every time you turn around, now you're checking your phone. Now you're not believing any words that are coming out of their mouth. Now you're feeling like everything that they tell you is a lie. Now you're feeling like you can't let them out of your sight. If you're with someone that you can't let out of your sight and you can't go on and be separate, like him go hang out with his friends or go do whatever hobby he likes to do, and you can't go off with your girlfriends because he's thinking that you're going to go meet John around the corner and things like that. That's a crazy relationship in and of itself. You need to let that go. That's the relationship you don't need to stay in. If you're in a relationship where you're feeling like you are always being watched, where things are never working out for you to be comfortable, then you need to let go of that relationship or change the boundaries of the relationship. Change the boundaries of the relationship, the dynamics of the relationship. But let's go back to forgiveness. They've stepped out on you. They've had a baby with somebody else. You stay in a relationship with that person. Now you're in a relationship with that person, but you are hurting. You are mad. You are upset. Every time you turn around, you're thinking that they're doing something. Every thought that you have about that person is that they lied to you. Every time that person walks out the door, you're wondering, is he going to go see Mary? is she going to go see John? You need to work on that for yourself. Over here on Facebook, Wanda said, forgive, yes, but trust, no. But forgiveness is consciously deciding to let go of resentment. So that means you have to let it go. If you're not trusting that person anymore, you haven't let go of the resentment. You haven't let it go. Plain and simple. If every time that person's opened up their mouth to say something, or their phone rings, you're thinking, oh, that's so-and-so, he's doing this, that, and the third, or she's doing this, that, and the third, then you have not let it go. And if you're not letting it go, then guess what? It's building up in your body, and it's becoming issues within you. It's becoming issues within your body when you don't let it go. So, in order to forgive somebody, it's not necessarily letting go of the fact that they did something. It's a very, very, very fine line. It's not exactly letting go of the fact that they did something, but it is letting go of your attachment to what has happened. Your attachment to what has happened. When you can let go of the fact that someone has done you wrong, and you can let go of the fact that it hurt. I'm not saying don't feel it. Feel it. Breathe it in. Let it be all the pain that it needs to be so that you can then release it. If you always stamp the feelings out, if you always shut the feelings down, that's not feeling them. That's not putting it out there so that you can release it. You'll never be able to release it if you don't allow yourself to feel it. If you mask it, if you stamp it down every single time it starts to come up, you will never be able to release it. You have to feel it. You have to go through that pain. And you have to understand where that pain came from so that you can then let it go. Take the emotional aspect out of it and let it go. The person did what they did. Whatever the reason was for doing it, it's not your problem. That's not what you're looking for. It shouldn't be what you're looking for. Whatever reason they did, whatever they did, you have to let that go. You can't control somebody else. You have no control over anybody else. Not your man, not your mama, not your daddy, not your kids, not your sister, not your brother. Nobody. You have no control over anybody else. You're only in charge of you. How you feel about the situation, how you handle a situation, and what that situation does to you. You are only responsible for you. You have to let it go. You have to find that way to forgive that person for the shit that they did to you. And it doesn't mean forgive, you crashed up my car. You crashed up my freaking car. I've actually had this happen. You crashed up my freaking car. I don't have a car now. I don't have a way to get around. I can't take my kids here. I can't take my kids there. I can't get back and forth to work without a whole lot of inconvenience. Now my insurance has gone up. I actually went through this. And then you want to open up your mouth and ask me, can you drive my car again? Oh, hell no. No, you may not. No. I forgive you for the fact that you crashed up my car. I take the resentment, the hurt, the sting out of the fact that you crashed up my car. But am I going to let you crash up my car again? Mm-mm. No, ma'am. No, sir. You can't drive my car again. Who would even fix their mouth to even ask you that? But people do. But people do. They say, oh, well, you know, it wasn't my fault. So-and-so hit me. And I don't give a flip-flop, fluey care what happened. You were driving my car and it got crashed. Can you drive the next car? No, ma'am. No, sir, you may not. Period. Done. Drive your own car. Get your own car. Drive it. Not mine anymore. Now, let's go back to the infidelity thing, because that's a big thing. This person has cheated on you. This person has stepped outside of the relationship, and not only have they stepped outside of the relationship, but they've brought home a child with it. You mad at that baby? Women do that shit. Men do it too, but women do that shit the most. You mad at that baby. Why are you mad at that baby? That baby ain't had nothing to do with what his mother and father did. Nothing whatsoever. But every time you see little Johnny, because of course she gonna name him after the man. Every time you see little Johnny's ass, you mad. You got a fire down deep. A fire down deep in there that you can't get rid of. You mad at her. You mad at the baby. You mad at everybody but your man. You still laying up with him every damn night. But you mad at her and you mad at the baby. Who you hurting, sis? Yourself. You're hurting yourself. Plain and simple, you're hurting yourself. You have to learn how to let it go. You have to learn how to release it. If you're going to stay around someone who's hurt you, if you're going to be around someone who's hurt you, then you have to let go of the emotional feelings behind that hurt. If you don't let it go, it becomes disease. If you stay around that person and you do let it go and they do it again, then you have other decisions to make in your life. No matter what it is. They steal money out your bank account. Crash up your car. Go out and have a kid on you. Steal your jewelry and pawn it. Whatever the situation, whatever the case is, you are in charge of you and how you feel about the situation and what you do with that situation. You are in charge of you. You cannot control anybody else. You are in control only of you. And you have to make sure that you are at the optimum health levels. You have to make sure that everything that you put in your body, everything that you listen to, everything that you see, everything that you feel is congruent to who you are. If not, it's going to cause issues in your body. And for us women, those issues can include fibroids. Fibroids is a hard buildup of mucus. Mucus that is usually there through either diet or emotional issues. People say, oh, well, my mother had him and my grandmother had him and my aunt had him, so it runs in the family. Oh, the way you eat runs in the family. Y'all eat the same shit. The way you feel about things run in the family. Y'all talk the same. Y'all speak the same language. You manifest it by saying, well, everybody else in the family got fibroids, so I'll probably have them too. You gotta learn how to let all that go. Let all that go. All of it. And I've got issues with my mother. I have mother issues that I'm working on right now as we speak. And I know that my mother did the best that she could do when she was raising us. She did the absolute best that she could do on her own, by herself, with no help from our dad, with no help from her parents, with no help from anybody. She did the best thing that she could do at the moment that she did the things that she did. Was it the best thing? Not always. But I have issues that I need to work through on my side, because me looking for forgiveness from her is crazy. Why would I look for forgiveness from her? She was doing the best thing she could do at the time that she was doing it. There's no way that we can go back and rewind the tape. We can't go back and replay a situation. All we can do is replay what we think in our minds the situation was. And does that always make it true? You can have 2 people in a room, 3 people in a room, witness the exact same event, be a part of the exact same event, and come out with 3 different stories. My brother does it all the time. He says, well, do you remember the time that da-da-da-da-da happened when we were little? Oh, yeah, I remember that. And then he'll start telling the story, and I'll be sitting there like, wait, what? Wait, what? That never did, Nikki, it did happen. And I'll be like, and we still have these arguments to this day. And I'll be like, Kenny, that did not happen. He'll say, Nick, yes, it did. And I'll be like, it did not happen. But it's the exact same situation, the exact same scenario. We just view it in different ways. Completely different ways we view it. So the way that you see something is important to the way that you handle it. If you see every little thing as a slight to you, the fact that that person pulled over in front of you, you pissed off. How dare he pull over in front of me? He can't be pulling over in front of me. I got places to go to. Fool, he was pulling over because he was running out of lane over here. You were driving slow. You didn't pull back so he could get over knowing that his lane was ended. What was your fault in that? What did you do to help cause that? I ain't do nothing. I was driving. I had the right of way. He's supposed to wait. But courtesy says, back up a little bit. Pull back a little bit so that person can pull in. And traffic can keep moving. Instead, you wanted to keep at your 60 miles per hour, and that person was clearly trying to merge in. You wanted to keep at your 60 miles per hour, knowing that you had cars behind you, and you could have started slowing down. And then you had to slam on your brakes. Now you mad. The people behind you mad because why they putting on brakes up here? When all you had to do was start slowing down. Yeah. And a lot of times the things that we hold in regard to other people, a lot of times we do have something to do with how that situation played out. A lot of times the things that we feel victimized with, we had a very real role in. A very real role in. And if you listen to that person's side of the story, impartially listen to that person's side of the story, you may see where you had something to do with it. But most of us, what is wrong with the dog? Who was that? Spartacus or Sarah? Send Spartacus in the room with Daddy. Excuse me, y'all. My dog is in there winding up a storm, and I don't know why. Anyway, but where was I at? Oh, see, I lost my thought. Hey, Ray. Hey, Paige. Who else is on? Hey, Beth. Hi, honey. Okay. All right. So, what was I talking about, y'all? I'm so sorry. Can somebody tell me what I was just talking about? All right. Whatever it was, maybe it'll come back. Yeah, I know I'm getting old. But anyway, all right, so let me go to some of my notes. Your mind and your body are linked. We know this, but we don't know this. The things that you feel in your mind correlates to how it plays out in your body. And that's along the lines of what I was just talking about too. So in your mind, if you're holding on to stuff, if you're holding on to transgressions that you perceive were done against you in your mind, it's going to show up somewhere in your body. It could be a cough, it could be a cold, it could be a tumor, it could be hives, itching. Break it out in itching. Every time you're around this particular person, you break out, you start itching. Let this shit go. You gotta let it go. You gotta let the resentment of whatever the transgression is that you feel that that person did against you, you have to let it go. Even if they never apologize. 79% of people who owe somebody an apology never give a good apology. 79%. And I'm not talking about you walking in the grocery store and somebody bump into you, they go, oh my bad, or oh excuse me. I hate that, oh my bad. I can't stand that. That's a pet peeve of mine. Oh excuse me. Oh I'm sorry honey. I'm not talking about that type of an apology. I'm talking about where somebody knows that they did something wrong against, to, or around somebody, and never gave them an apology. 79% of people never give an appropriate apology for the things that they've done to someone else. That's a lot of people on the other side of that apology that never got it, that could be holding on to a lot of ish that could cause issues. It can cause high blood pressure, higher cholesterol. It can cause body aches and pains, the hives, like I said. You holding all that stress up in your neck and your shoulders. That's where I hold mine. Up in your neck and your shoulders. You got all this stress because you're always feeling tight. Especially when you get around that person that you feel owes you an apology. You're feeling tight. You're like, oh. They walk in the room and your face instantly goes stank. Neck all up into your ears now. You were relaxed. You were chilling. Now your neck is all up into your ears and you're all tight. Your hands are in balls and your toes are all curled up inside your shoes and the whole nine. And that person walking around the party enjoying themselves. You screw facing them, stank facing them, the whole nine, and they having themselves a good time. Because you're waiting on something that you're not going to get from them. You're not going to get that apology from them because they don't feel you are owed that apology. But that's not your issue. You have to forgive the situation. You have to make a conscious decision to let go of the resentment behind the situation so that you can be free and light as air. You need to be able to soar. You can't worry about that person. You can't worry about what that person's going to do. You have to be able to soar, and you cannot soar if you're holding on to bricks. As a matter of fact, that takes me to something that Buddha said. Let me find that note so I can quote correctly. Buddha stated that holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You're the one who gets burned. Let me say it again. Holding on to anger, grudges, resentment, dislike, distaste, disdain is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You're the one who gets burned. Think about that. Let that sink in. Like, really pay attention to that. You're holding on to the bull crap that happened 17 years ago. I don't know why I just said the number 17, but it's for somebody out there. Something that happened 17 years ago. You're holding on to it. And you may not even think you're holding on to it. You may think that you've gotten past it. You may think that, oh, I done worked through that. But you haven't. But you haven't. Because whenever that person comes around, you say little iggly things to remind them of it. Oh yeah, like the time you lost my keys and I had to pay $75 to get a new set of keys. Or whatever. You say little things to constantly remind them of what it was they did wrong. That's not forgiveness. That's not letting go of resentment. Especially if you keep putting yourself in a situation to allow those people to do the same thing to you again and again and again. What's your role in that? You have to take credit. You have to assume responsibility for your role in certain situations. 99.99999% of the situations that we find ourselves in, we did something to put ourselves in it. And that's very hard to say. That's very hard for me to hear for myself. But I don't believe in things just happening. I don't believe in situations just occurring. I really believe that things line up in certain ways for certain reasons. I really don't believe that we just pop up and we're in a situation. Did you just wake up and you were in a situation? How'd you get there? Did you drink too much? Did you put yourself in a state of not being aware by drinking, smoking, or ingesting something that put you in that situation? Yes, that person's wrong for what they did in the situation. But sometimes we have to take accountability for how we got to the point where that person could do what they did. Hey, Vaughn. Hey, Kev. Who else is saying? Hey, Angie. Now, this stuff is knocking me over my head that I'm sitting here talking about. It's knocking the hell out of me right now. Because, like I said, I'm learning how to forgive for things, too. I'm not completely there. I have to tell y'all the truth on things. I'm not completely there. I'm working through things. Just like I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. And I'm working through things for myself. And the reason why I choose to work on the things that I work on is because I want to elevate. I want to be light as a feather. Well, whatever. I want to be spiritually light as a feather. I want to be able to soar. I want to be able to manifest and use my mind in the way that it's supposed to be used. We are powerful creatures. We have a lot of things that we can do just with mind power. But we have no clue that we can do them because we're so busy being bogged down by things that mean absolutely fucking nothing. They mean nothing in the greater scheme of things. Nothing whatsoever. But we get weighed down. We get weighed down with the things of this world, with the things of this life. We get weighed down instead of deciding to let go of the resentments. All right. I want to say the Mayo Clinic. The Mayo Clinic states that forgiveness brings about health benefits. Some of the health benefits are improving relationships, of course, decreasing anxiety and stress, lowering blood pressure, lowering depression, stronger immune system. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Your immune system. Once you get all loaded down with issues and problems, that makes you start feeling terrible. And then when your immune system is down, is lowered, that's when diseases can come in. And those diseases can advance and become cancer and things like that. It also has the benefit of better heart health and longer lifespan. Just think, you let go of some of that stuff that happened 17 years ago, you might add another 3 or 4 years to your life. Another 3 or 4 years for people to cut you off on the expressway. For you to pull up alongside the car and be mad at them. I don't know. But try it. Try it. Instead of looking for forgiveness from that person, you're looking for them to say to you, I'm sorry. Man, forgive me. You may not never, ever, 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 ever get that. But you need to let go of your resentment to it. Now, don't put yourself back in the situation again where they can hurt you again. Don't do that, because when you keep putting yourself in a situation where they can keep doing those things to you that they do to you, then they keep doing them, you're going to keep getting mad. Sam Smith has a song, and all his songs are so sad. Oh my gosh, I used to love him. Then I realized, dude, you're just sad. So I had to stop. I had to stop with Sam Smith, because I was like, wait, every song is about being cheated on, being rejected. It's about losing love. It's about, I'm just like, oh my God, Sam Smith, come on, come see me, baby. Come sit on my couch for a while. Let me help you. with some of that resentment you got. But Sam Smith has a song, and in this song he says something like, I'm way too good at goodbye, or something like that. If y'all can help me out with that, that would be grand. But basically in this song he's saying, I've gotten really good at you hurting me. Y'all hear that? I've gotten really good at you hurting me, is basically what he's saying in that song. Why? Why would you get good at letting somebody keep hurting you? What's the benefit of that? So you can say you still have them? I can say I got a scorpion. That scorpion stings me one time. That little MF gone. I probably am too with a scorpion, but I mean, I'm just saying. I love my dogs. My dogs bite one of us. Out. Gone. Yep, get a second chance. Being way too good at being hurt by somebody is not a badge of honor. It's not. I don't care what these songs out here tell you, these rap songs and these TV shows, these reality shows where the women keep taking people back that are obviously hurting them and things like that. And oh, I caught him with another woman and I went over there and I beat her behind and this, that, and the third. What you still fighting for? You fighting for the disrespect? You fighting for the pain? Why? If you know the person's going to keep doing it and you keep allowing them to do it, just let them do it. Take the pain out of it. Don't give them a reaction to it. If you're going to stick around or you feel like you need to stick around that person for whatever reason, still remove the sting of it. Remove the pain of it. Let the resentment of it go. Let it go. Okay. And did you know that being chronically angry, being upset all the time, that's putting your fight or flight mechanisms up front. So you're always, if you're always anxious about something, you're always mad, you're always upset, that means that you're always ready to either fight or run. That's not good for your body. That's not a good way for your body to stay in stasis. That's a terrible way to live your life. All you're doing is inviting in more of the same. You're inviting in the tenseness, the tightness, and who wants to be around somebody who's always upset, who's always mad about something? If you're mad at John or you're mad at Mary for something that they did, and every time I'm around you, your face is always all stuck up and all tight looking and whatnot, why am I going to come be around you? I don't want to deal with that. And those of you who know me personally know I don't want to deal with that. And I'll tell you too, I'll be like, ooh, you need to fix that. Nobody wants to be around that. Let's work together to get that fixed. But when you make amends, and I'm looking at my notes over here, when you make amends with someone else, it helps you be able to forgive yourself. When you make amends with someone else, it helps you to be able to forgive yourself. We have things that we need to forgive ourselves for. We do. We have things that we need to forgive ourselves for. There's infidelities that we've done. There's abortions. There are times that we've done things to people or things to ourselves, not taking care of ourselves, not being congruent with ourselves, not being real with ourselves. There are things that we do to ourselves, especially ladies, on a daily basis, not taking care of yourself. You need to forgive yourself from that, and then you need to change it. If you've had miscarriages and abortions and things like that, you need to find a way to forgive yourself for those things that you've done. Number one, because you can't go back and change it. You cannot go back and change anything. There's no way to rewind the tape. There's no way to, if I put you in a hypnotic state and sent you back to that time, that's just reliving what happened. That's not changing what happened at all. There is no way to go back and change a situation. If y'all find a way to do it, hit your girl up. Let me know. Let me see the science behind that. Let me see the spirituality behind that. Being able to go back and actually physically change an event. Now, I'm not talking about stuff that y'all saw where in other parallel dimensions things are different. I'm talking about your dimension right here where you live, right here on this Mother Earth, here, now, where you're watching this video. Right here, right now. There is no physical way to go back and change a situation. I can't even go back and re-say the beginning of this live. I can't go back. There's no way to go back and change it. Stop holding on to it. Let it go. You're not helping anything by holding it. You're hurting yourself by holding on to it. Give yourself permission. Allow yourself to let it go. Say, okay, you did that. You messed that shit up. You caused this, that, and the third to happen. You did XYZ, which caused ABC. You failed 3rd grade because you didn't get up to go and take the final exam. I don't know. Whatever it is. Forgive that situation. Allow yourself to let it go so that you can move on. And you do better the next time you're presented with that same thing again. You consciously do better with that thing the next time that it presents itself, because it will present itself again. We learn life lessons over and over and over and over and over again until we get it right. You keep on bumping your head up against that same brick wall. I turn around and keep on hitting my head on this yellow wall and just keep hitting my head and hitting my head and hitting my head. Eventually, 2 things are going to happen. One of 2 things are going to happen. I'm going to knock myself the hell out, or I'm going to stop and do something different. You need to do the same thing. Stop bumping your head up against that same lesson. Take that lesson for what it is. Look at it. Release the anxiety behind it. Release the resentment behind it. Take a couple deep breaths and allow yourself to forgive yourself for what you've done in that same situation in the past, so that you will not repeat it again. Now, if you keep on repeating the same things over and over again, then that's because you choose to. That's because you choose to. And you can say all day, well, this person just keeps doing this thing to me over and over and over and over and over again. You got a role in that. You definitely have a role in that. Remove their ability to do the thing to you again and again. And I'm not saying that it's easy. It's not. It's not. I got some mess going on in my personal life right now that I can sit here and easily say, okay, so I need to take myself out the situation, and I need to find a way to remove the resentment from the situation. But then when I start thinking about it, it's not as easy as it sounds. I'm not telling you that the crap is easy. What I'm saying is it's necessary. You have to do it. Why do you have to do it? Because if you don't, you knock your fool self out. If you don't stop hitting your head on the wall, you're going to knock your fool self out. That's why. You have to. It's necessary. Because one of 2 things is going to happen. You're going to knock your fool self out, or you're going to stop doing the stupid stuff. Which one is it going to be? Figure this shit out. One way or the other. Figure it out. And sometimes we can't figure it out by ourselves. Sometimes we need somebody else. And the person that you go to needs to be someone who, number one, can be respectful and non-judgmental about the issue in the first place. If they have an emotional attachment to it themselves, then 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be able to help you. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be able to help you. If they're a judgmental type person that the first thing they say is, and this burns me up, first thing they say is, well, why did you do that? What? What do you mean, why did I do that? That's not helping me, you saying that. You can eventually ask the person why they chose the path that they chose. You can eventually ask the person that. Because you need to know what was your thinking at the time that caused you to do that same thing. Again, you need to know why your pattern is the way that it is. But if the first thing out your mouth is, well, why did you do that? That's not showing empathy nor sympathy, nor is it getting anywhere at that moment. The person is coming to you because the person needs you to, number 1, listen, number 2, help, and number 3, listen some more. Okay? So the person that you choose to help you needs to be able to not be judgmental. They need to be a clear listening ear, which 9 times out of 10 means that they need to not have any emotional involvement in the situation themselves. And they need to be somebody trustworthy, somebody that you can trust to not run back and go and tell. Now all of the neighborhood knows what happened. The whole entire church congregation knows what happened, and you didn't tell them. So you got to be careful about who you speak to. Take your time. Meditate on it. Pray. Same thing. Meditation, prayer, same exact thing. Take your time. Meditate on it. Pray on it. And come up with someone who you can talk to if you can't figure it out on your own. It's okay to talk to other people. It's fantastic to talk to other people. I have a couple of women that I talk to about things. I have my man too. But I can't always talk to him about some of the things that I have going on because it's more of a woman type of thing. It's more of a thing where you just need a listening ear that's feminine. And that's okay. And as men, you may need a male listening ear. And that's okay. That's fine. But get people around you who you can listen to. Get people around you who you can talk to. If you don't have anybody around you whatsoever that can help you with things, you're going to need to fix that. That's going to be another thing that you need to fix, because I talked about that last week, how important it is to have a sister circle or male circle, people around you who you can depend on, who, like I said, don't come ask me for $1 million. I ain't got it, cuz can't give it to you right now. Come see me in about 20 years. I may be able to do that. But right this moment, I can't help you with that. I can try to help you manifest it. I hope it works. Let's do this. I got you. But if you need somebody to listen to you, somebody to talk to you, I got you. I got you. I'm there for that. Not at 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'm asleep. I ain't there for it at 3 o'clock in the morning. Only folks who call me at that time is my daughters. That's it. Just them two. I'm not there for anybody else at no 3 o'clock in the morning. But you got to find a way to release, relate, and let go. Release, relate, and let go. Holding on to things, not going to solve them, not going to fix it, not going to make it better. It's not. If you know of a way that it's going to solve it or fix it or make it better, then let me know. People are really not talking tonight. Y'all just like, y'all have no comments tonight. No comments tonight. None at all. And my Facebook is usually jumping with comments. Nothing on Instagram. Nothing on... Oh, I didn't do the other thing on YouTube. Hold on. Let me see if it's anything on YouTube. Nothing on YouTube. Nobody is commenting tonight, guys. I'm talking to myself. I see it says that people are on. But you guys aren't saying anything. Nothing at all. Is the topic too heavy? Okay, so listen. I need y'all to do a couple of things. If you're still out there, throw up a few hearts for me, or put a comment in there that say forgiveness is wonderful, or let's see, what can we... Come on, Roz, help me come up with a phrase for tonight. Thank you, Roz. Help me come up with a phrase for tonight. What's going to be our phrase? Forgiveness is fabulous. How about that? Put that in the comments. Forgiveness is fabulous. Throw up some hearts. Throw up some likes, some laugh faces. Anything but the sad or the mad faces. Don't throw those up. Don't be mad at me. I'm just the messenger. Don't be mad at me. Okay. Don't forget, go to my page. I have the Womb Haven on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, Instagram. The Womb Haven. THEWOMB. Thank you, Roz. HAVEN. On YouTube, I am Miss Lover. MSLOVERLUVA on YouTube. I also have a new group that just started last week, and it is the Womb Haven Experience on Facebook. There's not that many of us in the group yet, but the group is designed for women. It's a safe space for women to be able to come, for them to be able to connect, for them to be able to speak about any issues, any things that are going on. If you want somebody to congratulate you because you got that promotion, or congratulate you because you took that class and you passed it, or if you want somebody to just say, oh sis, it'll be okay, join the group. We try to talk about womb health on a regular basis. The main topic is usually womb health, but it's open for anything, okay? And I'm also a part of a group called 66 Women. Hashtag 66 Women. Look for that on Facebook. A phenomenal group. And it is the umbrella group for about 9 other groups. Hashtag 66 Women. If somebody can put that in the comments. My daughter was here. I think she left. Paisley, where you at? I don't see you putting my hashtags in tonight. She was here. I think she left. But it's hashtag the Womb Haven on Facebook and Instagram. And then there is the Womb Haven Experience group for ladies only. And only ladies that are uplifting. Only ladies that are building, are builders, that are trying to connect with other women and be positive. If you are a nasty Nancy, if you are a dismal Diane, if you are a jolting Jacqueline, stay out my group. I don't want you in my group. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. Let me stop saying it. I'm not sorry. I don't want you in my group. I don't. I don't want all that negativity in my group. I don't. It's a group like me. It's happy. It's free. It's fun. Now, you got some issues going on? Put it on the page. You ain't got nobody to talk to. Put it in the group. Let us form a circle of love around you for situations. We all go through stuff. I went through some stuff this week, and I wasn't happy about it. We all go through stuff. Things are not always roses. You ask me how I'm doing, I always say groovy as always. That's my pat answer for that. Hey sis, how you doing? Groovy as always. That's what I always say. But I'm not always groovy. There are times when I'm just like, urgh. And my close friends and sisters see that. They laugh at me most of the time, but they see that. And it is what it is. But they rally behind me and they say, oh, come on, baby, it'll be all right. And it will. It'll be all right. Everything will be all right eventually if we learn how to let go and forgive. With all that being said, I don't see any questions. I don't see any comments. Thank you, Roz, for putting forgiveness is fabulous. Thank you. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this live. Let's see, it is 9:54. It went over a half an hour. I was running my mouth, wasn't I? Oh well, it is what it is. I can't go back and change it. Might as well forgive myself. Forgive me. I forgive me for it going over a half an hour. I do. Do you forgive me? I love y'all. Have a blessed day. Ashe. Blessings. Thank you, Instagram. And thank you, Facebook. I'm sorry. And thank you, YouTube.